This story begins on September 22nd, 2004, in Sydney, Australia, when 324 people boarded a plane to Los Angeles.
Hold the door!
Like any flight that day, this was comprised of strangers. Among them, a doctor and a fugitive, a soldier and a rock star, a con man and a lottery winner, an estranged couple, a single mother-to-be, and a man whose faith was lost. As Oceanic Flight 815 flew high over the ocean, this group of strangers
It's normal.
was about to be joined together.
Don't worry.
On a mysterious island,
This place is different.
far from home.
Pilot said we were over 1,000 miles off course.
They found themselves on a journey
It's a place where miracles happen.
they could never have imagined.
We're not alone.
They loved
Yes, I love him!
and lost. They fought
This is our island.
and died. And after 108 days,
I'm one of the survivors of Flight 815.
6 people found rescue.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Oceanic 6.
But the island vanished, sending the friends left behind
What the hell's going on?
flashing through time.
We're either in the past or we're in the future.
3 years passed, and those who came home
We made a mistake.
were beckoned
I don't understand.
He wants us to come back.
to return,
Nigeria Airways Flight 316.
to undo their past,
There's a way for you to take it all back.
Think you can come here and do whatever the hell you want?
to alter their fate, to change
I love you, James.
their
Are
destiny.
you with me on this?
It was their first night on the island.
First plane crash?
What gave it away?
You can always spot the newbies.
And the survivors of Oceanic 815
You'd think they would have come by now.
clung to hope for rescue.
I don't know your name.
I'm Kate.
Jack.
Get me a blood gas and a C-spine. Get her up to ICU and keep her immobilized.
Jack Shepard was a spinal surgeon,
I'm gonna fix you.
consumed by his work.
I got it all. I mean, I had it.
His heart gave out. It's nobody's fault.
Jack was also driven by a relentless urge to prove himself to his father, Christian.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you stitching up the sack so this girl isn't paralyzed for the rest of her life.
But Jack would never get that opportunity, because his father died in Sydney. And it was up to Jack to bring the body home. On the island, the Oceanic survivors looked to Jack as their leader.
If we can't live together, we're gonna die alone.
You did a good thing, taking care of everybody, just giving us an account on.
Hey, girl.
Kate Austin grew up in Iowa, where her mother was married to an abusive man.
You are beautiful.
Then one night, Kate had enough.
Catherine, what did you do?
I took care of you, Ma.
She became a fugitive on the run for years,
Hey, Kate.
until she was apprehended in Australia. But when Oceanic 815 crashed on the island, Kate found a place to begin anew.
I want to tell you what I did.
It doesn't matter, Kate. We should all be able to start over.
On the island, Kate found herself drawn to 2 different men. Jack, the honorable leader, and Sawyer, the charming rogue.
Did you tell the doc about you and me?
No, but he knows.
Well, now that's out of the way. A little afternoon delight.
Breakfast, wait. You need me to make you a mixtape?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Listen to Mommy.
James Ford was just a young boy when his father was swindled by a man named Sawyer.
Get under the bed. Don't make a sound.
James's father went into a rage and killed his wife just before he killed himself. James grew up to become a con man, taking the name of the man who'd conned his father, and his need for vengeance brought him to Australia, where he believed he'd found the man he sought.
Sawyer!
But he was wrong.
You don't know what you're doing, do you?
On the island, Sawyer often clashed with Jack.
You're just not looking at the big picture, Doc.
Still back to civilization. And where are you?
I'm in the wild.
And he had trouble getting along.
Break it up! Stop! Found the transceiver, but it's not working. Can anybody help?
Yes.
Let's trust this guy.
We're all in this together, man. Let's treat each other with a little respect.
Shut up, Lardo.
Chain-smoking jackass.
Some people have problems.
How do you know how to do all that?
I was a military communications officer.
Who are you, Air Force? Army?
The Republican Guard. Yes, sir.
Before the 815 crash, Saeed was a torturer in Iraq.
Guess you have a new skill set you can use.
But he was conflicted, and he fell in love with a woman he tortured.
This isn't a game, Nadia.
Yet you keep playing it, Sayed.
Saeed risked his life to give Nadia her freedom.
Take it.
Then spent his life searching for her.
We know where she is.
When he cooperated with the CIA to overthrow a terrorist plot, he thought he'd finally found a way back to Nadia. But Oceanic 815 crashed on the island.
Did anybody say that?
And that presented its own set of challenges.
Terrific.
For this was not an ordinary island. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
Dad?
And this group was a very long way from home.
Hey! We've got a bomb! It's French!
The rescue party, it has to be. It's a distress call. It's been playing over and over for 16 years.
Guys, where are we?
I know food's scarce, but your shirt?
When you find a laundromat, let me know.
For Hugo Reyes, crashing on the island carried its own special burden.
I think the plane crash might have been my fault.
Don't be daft. How could you possibly...
Hey, a lot of bad stuff used to happen whenever I was around.
And that makes tonight's Mega Lotto jackpot drawing 4.
Hugo played the lottery and won millions.
342.
But misfortune followed.
I've had some bad luck, too. Grandpa Tito died of a heart attack, and the first house about my mom burnt down.
And when his chicken franchise was destroyed by a meteor, he became convinced his winnings were a curse.
Welcome!
After the crash, Hugo tried to find the brighter side of the island.
Dudes, listen. If we're stuck here, then just surviving's not gonna cut it. We need some kind of relief, you know? We need some way that we can, have fun.
The island had a hold on all of the survivors. But one man was determined to uncover its deepest mystery.
Well, this is awkward.
John Locke met his biological father only to learn that he was being used.
You stole my kidney. You needed a father figure and I needed a kidney. Get over it.
When Locke confronted his father, it ended in tragedy. He was left shattered and paralyzed, but he eventually made his way to Australia with a dream of conquering the outback.
Just put me on the bus right now. I can do this.
No, you can't.
You don't know who you're dealing with. Don't ever tell me what I can't do, ever!
When Oceanic 815 crashed on the island, John Locke rose from the wreckage and discovered he could walk again. This gave him faith that they were on the island for a purpose.
You think we crashed on this place by coincidence? Each one of us was brought here for a reason.
And who brought us here, John?
The island.
But the survivors were not the first people drawn to the island. Teams of scientists from the Dharma Initiative came to the island in the 1970s. They built research stations in an attempt to understand the island's special properties.
Unique electromagnetic fluctuations.
One station was called the Swan, where a man named Desmond spent years entering a code into a computer to keep a massive amount of electromagnetic energy at bay. One day, Desmond neglected to enter the code and caused Oceanic Flight 815 to crash on the island. The island's original inhabitants were not pleased to have visitors.
Goodwin!
You run, you can make that shore in an hour. Ethan, get up there to that fuselage. There may actually be survivors. Go!
This is not your island. This is our island.
The oceanic survivors would soon meet the island's original inhabitants. They would call these people the Others.
Hello, Jack.
Their leader was a man named Benjamin Linus, and he would do anything in his power to protect the island.
If any of them are stupid enough to get in your way, kill them.
Hey, welcome to the island, man.
Ben Linus came to the island as a young boy when his father joined the Dharma Initiative. But it was not a pleasant experience.
I'm stuck here on this island with you.
Then one day, Ben met the Others.
Take me with you.
You're gonna have to be very patient.
So Ben waited, and when he became a young man...
Goodbye, Dad.
He did whatever it took to help the Others protect the island from outsiders like the Dharma Initiative.
You want us to go get his body? No, leave him out there.
Ben joined the Others and rose to power as their leader. He raised a daughter and was a devoted servant to the island. But when John Locke arrived, Ben felt threatened by Locke's special communion with the island.
You've been here 80 days, John. I've been here my entire life. So how is it that you think you know this island better than I do?
Though not all of the Others regarded Locke as a threat.
When word got back here that there was a man with a broken spine on the plane who could suddenly walk again, well, people here began to get very excited.
Locke joined the Others and would soon become their new leader. But one of them wanted desperately to leave.
I want to go home.
That's not our agreement. You need to stay here until your work is finished.
We're here.
Juliet was a fertility specialist. She was recruited by the Others to find out why women on the island could not have children.
I think it happens at conception. There's nothing I can do about it, at least not here.
The situation appeared hopeless, so Juliet joined the oceanic survivors in hopes of finding a way home.
I want to know about your research. What happens to pregnant women?
They all die.
Sun and Jin were from Korea. And despite their very different backgrounds, they fell in love.
이 반지로 당신에게 서약합니다.
Their wedding was joyful, but their marriage soon darkened. And Sun planned an escape from Jin when the two were in Sydney. Life on the island brought them closer.
You're pregnant.
And they fell in love once again. But Sun's pregnancy put her in danger.
Your wife is very sick. If she doesn't get off this island, she will die.
But there was new hope for rescue. After nearly 90 days on the island, a freighter arrived off the coast. So Jack led his group to a radio tower to make a call for help.
I'm one of the survivors of Oceanic Flight 815. Can you get a fix on our location?
Hell yeah, we can.
They believed they'd finally found a way home. A group from the freighter arrived by helicopter.
Who are you? I'm Daniel Faraday. I'm here to rescue you.
It's his story.
Half the stuff he says goes way over my head, the other half goes way, way over.
Daniel Faraday was a physicist who devoted his life to the study of time travel. He came to the island with a science team and their pilot, Frank Lapidus. But rescuing the oceanic survivors was not the primary mission.
This is Charles Widmore, the man whose boat is parked offshore.